I was injecting my brother, like injecting with drugs, like as everybody could see. You see, I've got, I've also cut them in my neck, missed shots. I was gonna die. My mother died when I was 7 years old. She was actually raped and shot in my sight at a flat here in Joburg. I had to watch it as it happens, as a kid. The world of 666 and satanic religious contempt, it's not a lie. Yes, after I was told, I had to sign myself into, the satanic, yeah. I lost everything, my contract got terminated, it's okay, like, I got back into, scratch one again. Drugs got me, like, worse than what I was up until this point.
In today's episode of Paradise, we meet a man whose life was once filled with fame and music. From losing his mother at a young age to mastering instruments and rising to stardom. His journey took a dark turn when drugs entered the picture. But before we enter his full story, let's take it back to the song that once put him on the map.
All right, my name is Gregory Tito. Yes, and Gregory Tito is from around here, Joburg. Yes, born on the 11th of February, 1988. Yes.
1988.
Yes.
So that makes you how old now?
37.
37,
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Are you born and raised here in Joburg?
I can say so, yeah, partially, yes. I'm born and raised here in Joburg, yes. Because I was born of a single mother who actually died when I was 7 years old.
Oh.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
a sad story from, history.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yes,
Sorry to hear that, my brother.
yes.
Did you complete school?
All right, let me just try to elaborate on the summary, about a little bit of that. Yes, as I said that, my mother died when I was 7 years old. She actually passed away on the 4th of October 1995 when she was actually raped and shot in my sight at a flat here in Joburg. That was Cleveland Mansions. So I really never had, time to go to school from there because that's when I rendered into the streets. From running there, from that point in time, and that was it. So I can say that I never had an opportunity just to go to school at all. I'm self-taught.
Seriously?
Yes.
And you speak so well?
It's because I was adopted into a white family after that. Like, not really adopted, but just taken in into a home. Yes, that was in Bedford. Yes.
Okay, so how... First, it's a very, very tragic story.
Yeah.
Before I actually leave this, I want us to kind of
Okay.
stay on this for a while.
Okay.
How did you hear about your mother's passing?
All right. As I said that, it was the 4th of October, 1995. Okay, the time was 12:23 midnight. I still remember everything. When I woke up as a child, like from the middle night, from a noise that was happening where we used to stay, Cleveland Mansions at that time, just opposite Samek. All right, when I woke up into three men, by our sitting room, which we call it a lounge today. All right, they were harassing my mom, and in that point in time, in that minute, okay, they raped her, of which means sexually assaulting her at my side, and I held that, and I had to watch it as it happens, as a kid, and then suddenly after that, she was shot. 3 bullets on her chest, and as a kid, I was left with her at the same time with that, noisiest noise and, like
The trauma.
traumatized and everything. At that sudden minute, I had to run out of the flat and, run out. It was drizzling at that moment, in the middle of the night. I had to run to a place called Marlin Road. At that time, it was still a strip club. That's where, I believe Mom used to work as a, late night woman. I found, the people that she was so, close to, calling friends and, uncles at that time, trying to, everybody was like, yeah, Shana, we'll get you home. We'll get you home. Yeah, just run. Nobody wanted to listen at my tragic story at that time. So I ran out until, I ran into a police car, that was parking down the streets. And, at that point in time, police in Joburg were not so like now, It was still like the white kind of, Yeah. So I could say, so yeah, they took me, back to where I stay, and only to find my mom's dead body lying on the floor with blood and, everything. Okay, when they were still examining her, like as a child, because I was still under that trauma, I had to, again run out and into the streets at that time because I was like very emotionally broken. And as a kid, and, like it was like a zigzag, man, in my mind that a lot was going on. So that's how I rendered into the streets, and yeah.
Yo.
Yeah.
Sorry, man. I thought maybe it happened elsewhere,
Yeah.
and then you heard about it, but
No, I had to actually see everything. Like I viewed everything.
yeah.
I can still remember everything, even today. That's the horror that has been, traumatizing me from that point until this age.
Yeah.
That pain hasn't left. I still live with it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so you end up on the street.
Yeah.
How long was it before you got to Bedford View and now you're taken in?
All right. At that point, okay, I ended up in the streets. I first stepped into Esalen at that day because there were so like few street kids. There were no like so-called Malundas, the name today, but at that point in time, they were still called like Katko, like street kids, because, the kids that were there, they were under glue and benzene and, the type of things. And yeah. So at that similar time, again, we had this so-called Scorpion policeman, that used to be very harsh at street kids, And if you were a kid at that time, found out that you had to sleep in the streets, you were beaten, harshly beaten. So then I had, at that day, like when I got out of my house, I think I slept for about less than 5 days. And then I ran into Bedford, just following up the road, not knowing where was I going exactly. But passing through Best Valley. Best Valley was still the suburb by then, like colored and white people living there, not like now, And I got myself into, Bedford and Eastgate. Eastgate was still under construction, Eastgate Mall. That's what I'm talking about. It wasn't like the way it looks like now. It was still like,
beginning
the
phases.
Yeah. So then, that's where I found, a couple of, like same age mates, like that were a little bit few because they had like an accommodation by the defense force, like basement that were a base. That's there, like at the East Gate. So that's how I started living with them, and like at the same time, because as a kid running out, like into the street, vanishing into a lot of, doing a lot of things again. Yeah, I would say.
Sure. Okay, and then a lot of those other kids, were they, like, how did it happen? Did you just go up and talk to them?
Yeah. I actually went up to them, like I had to introduce myself. Yeah, my name is Greg, guys. And they welcomed me with, both hands, like from that moment, bringing me in. But, I was afraid of, the drugs at that point, taking glue and benzene and, marijuana. So I wasn't really into that. So They would come me, and up until, you know, I just happened to have met a lady called Maria. Maria was a Tiro, the same lady that became my mother, like my godmother, as I said, that I was adopted, like later. She used to come around and help me, with food and, clothes and whatever, until, they took me in, at Bedford. They were an American couple, but they never really had kids. Yeah.
So if I understand the story correctly, you never actually like got to stay with them. They were
I, I,
just
I stayed with them. Like they first
okay.
started by helping me
Okay.
until they took me into their house. Yeah, because it was Rod Tidwell, that was the husband, and then it was Maria Tidwell, that was, the wife. So it was a Tidwell couple. So they got me in. Yes. So which makes my surname Tidwell today. Yes.
Nice.
Yes.
That's dope.
Yes.
Okay, so what do you think made them gravitate towards you? Because you said that you were living with other kids as well, right?
Yeah.
What do you think made them say, hey, there's something over here?
All right. It was, as a kid, like it's the very same way that I am like today. I'm a very respecting person and a very humble person. Like I'm one of those people. Other guys would say that, yeah, I'm a coward in the streets because I don't like, being like a fighting type of person. I'm that kind of a peaceful person and a very humble, respective. That person that you would step on, but still be the one to say that I'm sorry. That yeah, you stepped on me. Yes. So I'm that kind of person. So I think they saw a certain potential in me. So that's why they got me in. And after they got me in, that's when, I found a piano, that grand piano, like house, big one.
Did they have it at their house?
Yeah, they had it, yes. So as a child, so getting into that, like, wow, unfortunately, it was played by the lady, Maria Tidwell. So she used to play piano whenever she was like disappointed, and she would play chords and whatever. So at that point, and she had that, like tip just to teach me because she saw that I'm into it, So she taught me the basics, and as a child, I know yeah. So after that, my brother down the line, where we used to live in Bedford, there was a jazz band just about 3-4 houses away from where we lived. I think it was Panela, jazz band, of which it was led by Moses Mlelekwa. Yeah, the pianist, the late pianist.
Moses Mlelekwa. He is going to play Jeans and Spirit. Take me back.
So I used to get out at home, just to stand by their gate because they used to rehearse at their garage, like car garage.
And open the garage.
Yeah, and then as a child, I would stay there till late, watching, playing. Until, there's a guy, a bassist called Fetzel. He lives in Soweto now. He was Stimela's bassist. Uncle Fetzel, was like, oh, I always see you around, kid. You always, stay until late, until we finish rehearsing. You love what we do. I was like, yeah, until they got me in. So Moses Mlelekwa put me in his lap, of a piano. He taught me how to play, that was when, I became the arousing pianist. Actually, I'm a very good pianist. I'm out of the game.
You're brilliant.
Yeah, very.
If we had a piano now, you'd...
actually, at a piano, saxophone, and guitar, my guy, I go
Are you serious?
extra, hey, extra. Okay, I wouldn't say drums are just, just playing the beat, following whatever sequence you get. But, when you count both instruments, I just go extra.
So how did you now learn all of them? I know, I understand the piano you were first taught by Maria.
All right. Being taught by my mom at first, then Moses Mlelekwa then. I first started on the piano because as a kid, I wanted to be part of the jazz band, even though I was young, like just to be out there as well and, perform in front of a crowd. So I had to excel, on the piano. Then because, as a child, looking at things like so-called like you're out of your mind. You want to learn how to play this because you can see all of them. I excelled on the piano first, and I was called into the jazz band to now do what you call synthesizing, like back piano, like it. Whenever the pianist is playing, you're just doing the synthesis and all that. So from there, I learned how to play the guitar, acoustic. Yeah, I was taught how to play the acoustic. From the acoustic, I fell in love with a musician called, what you call this, Cape Town musician in America. La 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 la. Wait, man. A very good guitarist, man. In America now.
It'll come back to you.
Yeah. We'll come back. I fell in love with him. So then, that's when I fell in love with what you call in guitar, like stepping. After I learned how to play the acoustic guitar.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah. So I went into that, a guitar, playing that. Then after that, I learned how to play the lead guitar. I excelled as well on that instrument under that jazz band as well. And then I had to learn how to play a saxophone. Yeah, a tenor saxophone, the one Hugh Masekela used to play. Yes. And then it was a little bit, hard because, with the saxophone, it has to do with a lot of blowing. Like the blowing has to come from your inner side, like very hard blowing. So, yeah, but it went, God was so mysterious at me because he just was like, yeah, boy, I'm going to bless you with that talent as well. So I went into alto saxophone, From there I went to, bass guitar. It was so easy for me because now I could, play on the chords and whatever. So from those chords, I learned how to play. And then, yes, after that, I learned how to play on the chords. And then, yeah. It was just, easier and history with me. Yeah.
That's
but
wonderful.
I really excelled.
So you're multi-talented. You don't only play one instrument.
I'm a very multi-talented guy.
Can you sing?
Yeah, I can.
Seriously?
Yeah, I can. Yeah, I can. Yes, I'm a musician, I'm a proper musician.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm all like a musician, like a proper musician at all.
Okay. So you played for the band.
Yeah.
Did you start doing shows with them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Recently, as a kid, yeah.
Yeah. And how long were you doing that? How long were you with the band for?
Okay, because I started performing with them at the age of 9. But because at some venues, I wasn't allowed as a kid. And because of my age, obviously. And what happened is that I used to perform at places where it was restaurants, but, like the bars and, the under 18, not allowed venues. I wasn't allowed at all. So I think I played at the age of 9 until I was 14, 15. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, and then what were your parents saying when they seeing you? Because, Maria only taught you how to play the piano, and now she's seeing you play all of these instruments. Were they supportive?
Yeah, they were very supportive because, they were the ones that actually bought me those instruments at the end of the day. And the only thing we used to fight about was school, I never really wanted to go to school after that tragedy that happened with my life, because I always thought that, other kids would laugh at me that why are your parents white when you are black and, all those kind of questions. I was scared of such questions, with myself. So that's why.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Did that create maybe like a rift between you and your parents? Or was it just something that you guys were working through continuously?
Yeah, we're working through. Yeah, it was something that we were working through continuously because like with my mother. Yeah, because like how whites are being soft to kids. Yeah, whatever the kid decides on, it's all right. Let's leave him. He's just probably gonna make his mind later.
Yeah.
So yeah, I didn't go to school because I didn't want to, not because I never had the opportunity to. Yeah,
100%.
yeah.
100%. Okay.
Yeah.
So now comes the next chapter of life, because now you're like 15, 16, 17.
All right. Okay, what comes into the next chapter of my life, all right, is that my family goes back to America, all right, finding that they wanted to take me with them, but then now the papers were not clearly done, properly done, if I may say. So I had to stay back, if I may say, but obviously under their care. If I'm saying under their care, obviously they were sending money and all that. I got myself into the gangster life now, because not only my love was onto music, and also like GTR racing, like this F1 racing.
Yeah.
I also have love like this Schumacher, racing car, yeah. I also wanted to become an F1 driver. So now I introduced myself into the bad gang. If I say the bad gang, I'm talking of the carjackers, obviously.
How did you introduce yourself? Was it people that maybe you knew around?
All right, obviously, carjackers are uncles that live around, with those kusheshes in those days, of my time was the climb of the game, So I'll find them around Shisanyamas and like malume mfuno kufunda ukuspina, kind of that, So one of them would be like, "Oh, okay, you drive." I'll be like, "Yeah, I drive," and and yeah, one of them I remember, his name is he's late now because I'm not scared to say his name as Virus, He was one of these big car criminals in Joburg at that time, and a car spinner. He taught me how to drive, and and I was like also on top of the game. Because he used to go to do his, robberies, and I'll be his getaway driver, And he would threaten me whenever we were like chased by cops, if the cops, get us, I'll shoot you. Until I got a name, Baby Boss Driver. Yeah. Because if you watch that movie, I've got the similar driving as like with that boy.
Yeah.
On a truthful note.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this was another thing that you were really good at, driving.
Yeah, now driving. And then now I started getting money because now I'm getting cuts from the, crime and, like getting cuts until, boom, I got arrested,
How old were you when you were arrested?
I was 16 going by 17, Boom, when I get arrested, life now, it's a rumble turnover again. I feel like, the world is on me. I had to attend the high court because of the cases now. It was a string of heavy cases that they got me into, as a child, as a teenager. And now looking at it that I have to, attend the high court. And yeah, I got sentenced and to 44 years, I remember. Yeah, I had to go to, the juvenile maximum prison, which was Lukop at that time, Dedileg. Yeah. Yeah, I remember, man. Yeah. I got there, when I got there, my brother, I was put into the solitary confinement cells, as a maximum, juvenile inmate. And, it was then by God's glory, I mean, by God's, like kindness and, mercy on my life. Yeah, they saw that, I can probably have a second chance. I could pick up on myself because I got a draft transfer from there, from Lukop into what you call Mtungeni. That's Baviane, to make up with my life again.
Yeah.
I never stayed for long, in prison. It was 4 or 5 years until I got a suspended sentence. Just right there,
Yeah.
Just given another chance to make it out there,
Yeah.
And
then would you say, did you have like a rough time in your 4 or 5 years there?
Yeah, I had my rough time because, I ended up even inheriting the number, the number gang, prison number gang. I was under the rough trees, and yeah, that's what I am now, what they call Charlie Madala, that's what I am, a rough tree, Yeah, but it was, a passage of, and a phase of life that, teaches you to be something again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then didn't it help? Because, you were working with Ipinar, right?
Yeah.
What people would know as gangsters before you went in.
Yeah.
Did that maybe give you some form of credit or maybe exempt you from certain things? Because I know you said that you ended up taking the number when you were inside.
Yeah.
Meaning outside you didn't have a number.
Yeah.
So what did that do for you working with other gangsters when you were inside? Did they come maybe make sure that Ukraine, did they come pursue you?
No. Because as I said, I don't have a family at all. I'm on my own with this world. So that's why nobody came even when I was in prison. That's why I ended up taking the number, because now nobody came to see me for a visit, So if you don't have a visit in prison, life becomes very harder. But, it taught me something at the end, that whatever you do, no matter how much secretive you can be, but everything has got its own results. Everything equates to something. Whatever you do equates to something, whether good or bad, but it will equate into something.
Yeah, all darkness will be brought to the light.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even the light is also brought to the darkness. It all goes like that. It equates to something, whatever you do. So with that life, it really taught me something, in life that, we all have, two ways. Whether you come from a good family or a bad family, but we all have two ways. The good or the bad. Everything teaches something. Yes, everything happens for a reason. Everything happens for a reason, I mean.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it taught me a lot in life. Being inside prison and that life.
Okay, so you come out of prison.
Yes, I come out of...
You get a second chance at life.
Yeah, I get a second chance at life. I met up with one of my friend's father, not my friend, my brother's father, called Linda Abtilizi. His father is Mandaptilizi here by Balfour. All right, because when I got out of prison, I bought myself an acoustic guitar. It's very cheap. They start from 400 and something. I was playing around, and again, I get an adoption.
Wow.
Yeah,
blessed with that.
Yeah, to the Telezi family now, and in Alexandra. That's where I first met up with my brother Linda, at his house. He welcomes me as I come with his dad, because his father, loved me that I could drive as a small boy at that, time, as a little kid. So he used to drive a Golf 1. So he took me in because basically he wanted me to take Abolinda to school, to drive Abolinda to school, and to be to chill with Linda, because Linda was the only boy, You know, he had his sister. So I wanted at least, you know, to have another boy to, you know, cheer around the house with. So now, yeah, the Buthelezis, oh wow, they gave me the best love, you know, in the world, you know, like, yo, I felt like at home, like, you know, even up until today, my brother, like, yo, I felt like, you know, like, I'm a person with them, you know, they make me feel like warm at home and, you know, yes. And then now, with the Buthelezi, I live with them up until I get a time with, a music school and a record label called Soul Candy.
Soul Candy?
Yeah.
Yeah. How did that happen?
Yeah, right. As I'm going around, obviously performing with my guitar, obviously now coming from home, you know, like as I say, the Buthelezi house in Alexandra. All right, I see this music studio, which was still by Melrose Arc by those days, before it moved into Rosebank. It was still run by DJ Mbuso, you know. Okay, a guy who was my best friend from that time called Lucky, up until now, he's still my best friend. Yeah, he's like, Greg, I trust you. If you try to go in, you know, I mean, that music label, they will take you, you know. Then I'm like, yeah, like, you know, like, but I'm not a DJ. I can't DJ and all that, you know, like. He's like, yeah, but, you know, you can learn. I'm like, yeah, but they would charge me. I don't have money, you know. Yeah, I remember now as I'm playing, I'm playing at a certain restaurant now because I used to love Eastgate and, you know, like, even up until now, I love the East Side. All right, I used to travel with a taxi with my guitar, go to perform at some restaurants there. I met up with DJ Fresh. That time, we still had Tom's music that side by Eastgate. They used to have a grand piano out there, you know, like. And then I'm playing the chords and whatever. DJ Fresh, that time I know him by Uncle Tato, you know. He's like, yeah, would you mind, you know, coming to Soul Candy? I'm like, yeah, I know that, you know that place. Yeah, you know the kid. Yeah, I always pass through that place. He's like, yeah, you must come around, you know. I love your chords and whatever. And I'm like, I shoot up straight, you know.
How long did it take for you now to actually go? Because I knew you've been looking at this place for a long time.
I think about a week now. Yeah, it only takes me about, not even a week, 5 days I was, you know, there. When I was at the reception, same day, Ashley, DJ Shimza, you know, came with his mom. Like, we were together, like at the reception at that point. Yeah, you know. All right, Ashley came with his mom. Obviously, I think he had come, you know, to the school side, you know, Soul Candy. I'd come to, you know, like.
This is him with the dreads, though.
Yeah, but you were still young and they were still like, you know, a little bit by that time, you know, yeah. Yeah, because he came with his mom, you know, yeah. All right, now, like, yeah, they're still discussing, you know, the other one, he's come for school, the other one had come to, you know, like, all right, they give me a chance just to see how far they can get with me. Okay, they can see that, okay, this guy's, he's pro, like, original pro. Like, all right, they give me that chance now, all right. When they give me that chance, I remember I was given an opportunity of, you know, like, of sleeping in the studio with a sleeping bag. They had showers at the back, obviously, you know, because that's what I wanted, you know, if I could record. And they just showed me like 1 2 1 2 in 15 minutes how Fruity Loops works, and yeah, that was it. Tip, you know. The next morning when they came, they found me. I was done with a little demo that I was doing the whole night because I was enjoying myself, like really enjoying myself, like as I love music. Yeah.
Yo, so okay. I'm just mind blown. Okay, so you do this demo, obviously.
Yeah.
You're up the whole night.
Yeah.
You didn't even sleep.
Yeah, because I was happy, you know, to be in front of...
Doing what you love.
Yeah, doing what I love. And then in the morning, I was, you know, Mbuso and Tato came in and they were like, wow. And then now I was taught the vinyls, you know, how to, you know, DJ. And The rest was like, boom. It was like so easy for me now, like because I'm from the world of instruments and, now getting to, like to mix this with this. It's like
It's
easy.
much easier.
Oh, this is the pitch, all right. I've got to make this run same speed with that, that was it, So that's how I learned how to DJ. Like, yeah, it was so like an easy tip for me. Bah! Like, wow. I didn't know it was an easy thing for me because when you would watch like DJs, like back in the days, it was like, yeah, the guy is doing really something like that, like really, really, really hard. But then now I was like, oh, so it's this easy, So yeah, I got up into them and then I was signed, bam, into the music, stable now, beginning of the nice life that I always prayed for.
Yeah.
You know?
And with this signing, how did it happen? Did they read you the contract, or did they just tell you verbally how things
No,
are?
like it was a contract, like I had to like paperwork.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was given something like this big, like to go and read, but unfortunately I was like,
You don't
no.
know. Also, you
no,
don't know how to read
like,
because you didn't.
Yeah, like I was like, no, man, let me just sign this thing, like.
Oh yeah, you just went.
Whatever comes, whilst I didn't know that I was hacking myself behind the ear, with a bush knife. Yeah, I'm not going to go into deeper because, but I was hacking myself, into music. But I really enjoyed myself with them because from there I had a place to stay now of my own and I had a car of my own and yeah. It was that.
Was this supplied by the label?
Yeah, supplied by the label. Up until certain years after I was told, like I had to sign myself into, the satanic, my brother.
How did that happen? And because we always hear about this, right? Were you not doing well? I'm trying to get my head around this whole thing.
All right, I'll start to say that the world of 666 and satanic religious contempt, it's not a lie. It is true, my brother. It's just that they are so secretive, like very secret. Like it's not easy to get, to get them, but it's a real occult. It's something that's there, I met up with a guy called Brandon Travis. Brandon Travis was one of my international music geek finders, I can say. What he had told me is that, okay, Craig, we have already met and you're from South Africa and I've taken you so far. You've come, like to perform, like in different countries, like overseas, I can say. Now it's high time that you come across, what could push you from this now point into a further point. I was like, yeah, what's that? It's like, have you ever heard of a religious occult like this? Like, yeah, I've heard of it. I never took it seriously. And, and he was like, yeah, like, I think, yeah, you didn't know, but they have shown you how far they can take you by how little they've taken you, like, for now. I'm like, it's like, yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't tell you, but yeah, it was this occult that was taking you. It wanted to show you, like how far it can build you if you can just give your soul into it. I'm like, I don't understand, It's like, yeah, it doesn't take money, but you'll get money in return, and all the glamour riches that you want, all the glamour fame that you want. And I was like, yeah, I understand, my brother, but yeah, the bottom line is that I'm a God-fearing person, like since I was young, like, because I come a long way with God, I mean, not any other God, just the one whose name is Jehovah, you know, like the one who's in heaven, the one who sent Jesus into this world, the one whom, I mean, Prophet Muhammad, you know, used to pray to, you know, the only one God, you know, that's the one that I'm fearing, you know. It's like, yeah, but can't you see, yeah, blah, 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 he cannot help his people. And I'm like, says who? You know, because at the end of the day, in the Quran, in the Bible, he never promised us of the good life in this world. But in the world after, yeah, that's the world after death. That's where he promised us. Then he's like, yeah. So he's like, all right, then because, you know, you have played with our, with our strength that we were trying, you know, to push you up. So now we're going to take you back to what you were before. And, you know, that was when, because I didn't agree to give my soul into whatsoever, you know, he brought in the line. Then that's when everything just got like, right? Everything like just fell off. I lost everything, you know, my contract got terminated, you know, it's okay, like life just became like, you know, everything. Like I got back into, you know, scratch one again, the streets, because I had nowhere to run to, you know. I don't have a home, I don't have a family, even though the Buthelezis are there. But remember, man, you know, like how life is. But I can always run there, but I'm a grown-up man now, you know. I cannot always run into them because they helped me with whatever they could, you know, at that time. But it doesn't mean that, you know, is. So yeah, that was life with me. And then because of disappointments and emotionally broken, I started, you know, with drugs, you know. And drugs got me like worse than what I was up until this point, you know. Yes.
Yo, man, that's unfortunate, you know,
Yes.
because it's not that you're not talented,
Yeah.
you know, and I'm sure that's what gives you so much heartache. It's because you know you're talented, you know you
Yes.
can do this thing without their help.
Yes.
So them taking things away, like how you say,
Yes.
must have hit you really hard.
Yeah, it hit me very hard because at that moment, even I lost a child, bro. You know, I lost my child. Like, yeah, like, yes. And that's the worst, you know, painful part of my life. And, you know, even today, man, like, it hits me emotionally and to my soul, like, because my child was like, yo, my love, my, you know, like, you know, yeah, I can just end there, man,
Yeah.
yeah,
No, sorry, my brother.
yeah.
I want to find out on a lighter note.
Yeah.
Do you have any songs that maybe we might know? Because, I mean, you did have a good run, you know?
Yeah,
You do.
I've got a lot. I've got a lot. Vem Rebola. Yeah, Vem Rebola. Yes, and I've got a lot, man. Yes, I would say on the album Africanism.
Africanism.
Yeah, everybody knows of
Yeah.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
everybody knows of that.
Okay, and can we still find your music?
Yeah, yes, you can still find when you just type DJ Gregory. Yeah,
DJ
there it is.
Gregory.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah.
No, I think even now when I leave here, I'm going to go and play some of your music.
Yeah. Thank you.
But okay, so while we're still on the music, is there any form of remuneration or payment that you get now after all these years? Because, I mean, it's your music. You created it from scratch. I'm sure you played almost all the instruments in the song.
As I said, like, you know how music goes, my brother, you know. Yeah, you can make the game, you can, you know, hunt, you know, the animal, but you're not the one to eat the meat. It's just from, like, the lion family. The lionesses, you know, they do the hunting, but the male lion is the one that eats the meat, you know, that, you know, takes the best part of the meat and then, yeah. I would say no, my brother, because royalties, yeah, as I said that, I never had to read my contract. So I signed and yeah, it goes somewhere. Yes, my brother.
So when they terminated your contract,
Yeah.
basically also your ownership kind of...
Yeah.
Oh man, that's unfortunate, my brother.
But
So,
but yeah, sorry, just to catch you on that. Yeah, I am willing, to start up again, onto something fresh on my own. But because what recently I've learned, it's hard because now I'm a robot like at the traffic, like I'm a bagger at the traffic. Only if somebody would sponsor me with a smartphone, because one thing I've learned, it downloads the best softwares rather than to ask for a laptop, something that would, somebody that, like a laptop, But, a smartphone and, DJ headphones plus, two flash drives, perhaps 64 gigs and upwards, I'd make the best of my game, I promise.
100%.
Yeah.
Especially, I think you could do well, especially with Amapiano now.
Yeah.
And looking at how international it is,
Yeah, my brother, yes.
I think you could really come through. Because
Yes.
to be honest, the art and the craft is dying.
Yes.
I think that we have, not to say DJing is not a lesser form
Yes.
of art,
Yes.
but there's not as many session players and musicians like how you are who can play multiple instruments. So I think if you can meet up with the right person or...
Yeah, just to sponsor me with a smartphone, perhaps I can say with the best smartphone. I'm talking of Huawei, something that would download. It downloads a certain software called Ableton 9, Sony Music, Acid Music, production. Yeah. I'm talking of production softwares, like music production softwares. Yeah, and then get perhaps Skull Candy headphones or what you call this? What are these?
Sennheiser, Pioneer.
Yeah, Pioneer, or what you call these other ones that have got it's got speakers as well.
Monitors.
No, not monitors. It's got monitor speakers like these headphones, man. They sell them by game. Wait. They've got this name like bass,
Beats.
Beats by Dre. But no, these ones are like 600, 700-ish. It's like Bluetooth or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, no Beats. There's this name. The name has, the very same name of those headphones. They've got speakers as well. That have got what you call this? Wait. After Beats,
JBL.
JBL. Yeah, JBL. Yeah.
So essentially, if
I would get,
if someone could even give you studio time.
Yeah, studio time. I'll do my best, man, because I'm radically 100% ready, just to pick up my life. Just that I'm finding it hard just to get, like the basic, materials.
Things,
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
so, a person would argue now that if how you saying that your life changed after you had that conversation about the occult, right? And what people can say Illuminati.
Yeah.
What's going to make it different this time? Because the way they put it is that it's not off your own hard work. It's off their resources and their connections that you did so well. What makes you think that this time, if you can get these resources, you'll do better without them?
Because now I would stand on my own, like with God, not only with my own, with Jehovah, on my side, following the right way. Because before, we used to use agencies and, not knowing what you're putting yourself into. But now, knowing from what I learned from, the past, I think, I would stand, the right way, through. Because what leads me through, that's just that prayer, my brother. Prayer is the answer to everything, Even though I would say that I'm Muslim by, religion, but, I've now obviously conquered into many religious, holy beliefs. I can say heavenly beliefs, you know. Yeah, really Christianity is something that we call angel in, Islam, yes. So I would say that, Salat is the main thing. Salat is prayer, by the way.
Oh,
And
yeah. Oh,
yeah,
seriously?
yeah, in
Okay.
Muslim, yeah. It's what would run me just right through, right through.
Okay. I hope there's someone who's watching who can help you with your situation. What I'm hearing is that you're not looking for a hand out. You're
Yes.
looking for a help up.
Yes,
Someone to extend their hand to help you get from the position that you're in.
exactly.
And you'll do the rest.
The rest I will do, my brother, because Allah is just, the main, the main, hand that's uplifting me. I'm so hungry again, of this, because to me, music is not just about, the fame. It's about the love. I come a long way with it, like that's where my fun and enjoyment, is. So yeah, that's it.
I think you've got a bright future. I just think that you just need to hold on
Yes,
to the situation that you're in now. Same like how and I'm sure you've learned, life is about seasons.
yes,
This is your winter. And
yes,
surely soon your spring is coming, your summer is also coming.
yes, true.
I think that there's definitely potential.
Yes.
And things will go right for you, my brother.
Thank you so much. And,
Thanks.
I so much believe into that because, yeah, I've left even that, so much crying that, I don't have a family. Yes, it's a fact, but I won't change it. It's how it is. But at the end of the day, I've got to push myself. I've got to uplift myself because, truthfully, it's not so long. I've even left drugs, I've left a part whereby I'm under the help of ANOVA. ANOVA is an organization that helps us with methadone. I was injecting my brother, injecting with drugs, as everybody could see, you see. I've got, everywhere, there's an injection, what you call, scars and, you can see. But with the help of ANOVA and methadone, I've also cut them in my neck, missed shots. I was going to die. If it wasn't for ANOVA, I was really going down the lane. But now I'm under the help of methadone, under ANOVA, which I also appreciate them as well, And I've recently them now. I'm 2 weeks clean now,
That's beautiful.
Yeah, I'm 2 weeks clean now.
That's beautiful, my
yeah,
brother.
I'm 2 weeks clean now. What I normally do is just sleep for the rest of the day, read magazines, and if I'm not hustling.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is there anything you want to say before we go?
Yeah, there is, my brother. It's that to uplift someone else out there, my brother. It's that whatever you're going through, remind yourself that you're not the only one into it. And remember that if you try hard, if you look upon Allah, which is the main God of this world, you're going to get through it. Just to say that no matter how painful the situation will be, don't worry, just hang in there. It'll pass. Stay in prayer, and uplift yourself and be stronger and have the courage more than anything else. You'll make it. Amen.
Gregory,
Yes.
thank you so much, my brother.
Thank you, my brother.
Hope everything goes well.
Yes.
Man.
All right, brother. Thank you.